Welcome to the video on traveling from discrete data to data-driven insights using Informatica IDMC on Azure. This video will provide an understanding of how Informatica IDMC helps you to modernize analytics on Azure Synapse.
Businesses have been evolving and they're trying to modernize from their on-prem environment into cloud. Everybody has the same questions. How do I know what data should I bring into Azure? Or how do I know what kind of users are going to use my data? How do I govern the data? How do I make sure they're populated? How do I make sure the data is secure? How do I get a single view of all the data? This has been a challenging question across all businesses. Informatica has all the solutions that supports the critical data management challenges, making sure your cloud is secure, your cloud data is, you're aware of what to bring into the cloud, and you know what data is valid and what data is not. Informatica IDMC. When we started with the principle of cloud first, cloud native a few years ago, and we started with bottoms up approach, talking about AI built machine learning models that helps understand the data through multiple classification, regression, and anomaly detection models. These models are used as microservices and support the different solutions on IDMC cloud, be it data catalog or data integration, data transformation, app integration, including hyperautomation, especially on quality and profiling, making sure your data is trustworthy, of high quality, great analytics. Those important gut checks make sure that your decisions are not just gut decisions, but also data-based decisions, making sure that your organization analytics is not only sound, but also usable and user-friendly and compliant regulatory reasons. Talking about compliance, governance helps you to helps your data stewards to provide the compliance reports, and also making sure providing a real checkout process of data for your users through data marketplace. These solution stack make up the IDMC, not just a solution stack, but also does the end-to-end life cycle of your data. Informatica also has connectors, pre-built connectors to every system that you can think of, any on-prem environment, cloud, or be it your ERP packages or your ODS systems. These connectors can pull the data from your on-prem environment, but the connectors on Azure helps you to start loading the data into your data warehouse. Informatica uses something called as APDO, an advanced pushdown optimization, where we use the compute of Synapse to make it much more powerful and stronger to do ELT loads. ELT is a new industry term called as extract, load, and transform, where you extract the data from your on-prem environment, load it into Synapse, and then do the transformation to make it high quality, trustable, and build insights, but also trustworthy and high quality reports. Informatica worked with Microsoft to build the architecture, that framework that talks about data from coming from on-prem environment. You are using any of your on-prem sources. It could be the SaaS services, or it could be your ERP packages, or it could be your on-prem environment databases and data warehouses. Bringing this data through mass ingestion framework, where we support batch data processing, stream processing, change data capture, and incremental processing, making sure your data is able to be transported from your source environment into your Azure environment. In the Azure landing zone, Informatica makes the data gets stored in the data lake, where the landing zone area where you can do your ETL layers, where you can track the data, extract the data, making sure the data meets a high quality bar by profiling the data and applying quality rules, making sure those quality rules are defined properly, and making sure the data is valid and helps you to build trusted insights and analytics. Once the data is being loaded and profiled and curated, the data gets stored into Synapse Analytics. Alternatively, you can also build your analytics to run on ETL layouts from ELT layouts to make sure the data is extracted, loaded first into Synapse using the mass ingestion framework and data integration and then transform, built on quality rules, and then transform to do quality on top of your data. Once the data is in a data warehouse, Informatica's master data management that can integrate with multiple sources, including your Dynamics environment, including your CRM environment, including your any of your order system, billing system, invoices system. It doesn't matter which system it is. You can extract the data, making sure you can democratize it by using a single view of your customer record or product record or supplier record to get that single entity of data itself. This master data management also enables you to have a hierarchical relationship, network relationships, and also do match, merge, relate, and model the data, making sure your data is available for you to have a single view of your record on all these entities. Informatica's data governance works from end to end, a real end to end, starting from the source systems where your processing systems are curated, understands the lineage from your source systems till it goes to your destination, where the destination could be a Power BI report, or it could be advanced analytics like using a Databricks or machine learning models. Your analyst can request for the data through data marketplace, where the data is reposited in the catalog, and then the users can request a collection of data. It could be an orders data, it could be a sales data, it could be invoice data, it could be some sensitive data, where a data steward approves the data to be pulled out from your repository to be available for your analytical purpose. This is Informatica's IDMC homepage, where you'll be able to see the different applications that I presented right now, and you will be able to see the mass ingestion. We are going to do some mass ingestion work, extract the data from the environment, and then bring it into the landing zone. So we are going to connect our mass ingestion framework to our local on-prem environment, and then pull the data from your on-prem environment into your destination, which is going to be a blob storage. So we are create a new one. You can see that the mass ingestion supports all the 4 layers of application ingestion, be it a database ingestion, file ingestion, streaming ingestions, and we are going to choose our database ingestion task, and where we'll be able to say what is the task looks like, and then we can say whether the data is going to be an initial load or incremental load. You can specify the load kind of and making sure that the data that's coming in from your source system, is it going to be a nightly or hourly or a batch wise? You can make a choice out of it. And then the easy to use mass ingestion framework takes in 4 parameters. What is the source? Where is the data coming from? What is the table that you're interested in? And there you can specify the table names. You can specify the ODS or the database from your on-prem environment. You can build your schema, and you can specify which table that you want to pull the data from. You can add a rule to include, and we include the drug distribution table here. And we can also specify what target, where is it going to. You can say, is it going to an Azure Data Lake storage? And we are going to store the file in a CSV format, and we are going to say have no compression, or you can specify a compression if you would like to have a compression like a ZZip. However format you need, you can specify the compression types, and you can provide a source table name and the target table name. Once you define these table names, all that you have to do is click and deploy and run. So once you say it, you can deploy it, and then when you run this task, you'll be able to monitor this task in your My Jobs. Once the data gets ingested, the data has to be profiled. So when you're profiling your data, we have to understand whether the data is skewed or whether the data is complete, making sure your data is valid for your building your analytics. So the profiler profiles the data and brings a hierarchy of all the data available in your environment. It provides a complete list of whether the data is complete. So if you look at the numbers, whether the red, teal, and black colors in this one, it will tell you like a red, green, yellow traffic lights. So when you have these lights on, it will tell you whether the data is incomplete, especially if you look at the red colors. It says the data is got null values, and there's something you need to worry about. And is it something that is important for you? Or sometimes the data is not, it's 100% complete. So it shows you that it could be a primary record, or it could be the database ID numbers. Similarly, you can find out the different details from your profiling scorecard. And once you profile your scorecard, you can go into your data quality to build your application quality rules to remediate these issues. So for example, we saw an NHS number add some incomplete numbers. So we can look at we can look at the quality rules to see how to handle a certain number. What are the different rules? What are different specifications that we need to make sure that the number could be available for us. Yeah, when you look at the drug code expression, so you can look at, it's a regular expression. It will provide you saying it's a regular expression to parse the data from your landing zone data into when you are transforming the data into. So you'll be able to build a custom regular expression to say this is my drug code, this is the output of my drug code. So whatever the data is available in the database in the existing source environment, you can transform it, or you can modify it, or you can modulate it based upon what data output you would require for your analytical purposes. That could be for a compliance report purposes. Similarly, once you do your quality rules, you can also add many more rules to provide whether you want to merge something, or whether you want to correlate something, whether you want to cleanse something, or whether you want to do deduplication. Any of those rules could be created in the data quality report. So once you finish your data quality components, the next one you would like to see is the data integration. So the data integration provides an environment for developers, ETL developers, to bring all this profile, scorecard, quality, and transformations of data into one place. Data integration provides a facility, a solution to bring in all your key data that you had in the ODS environment that got transformed in the quality rules into a common area of development. Your ETL developers would be able to bring in your quality rules, your transformations, your source, where the data is coming from your landing zone, and your target, which is the Synapse environment, and able to pull in the data into a mapping environment. So once the data is available, we'll be able to see that the data is procured from your source system. It goes through a set of process into a target system. So your ETL developers will be able to add these components from your source system to the target system. They can take over the source, they can apply the rules that you created for your quality purposes, and those rules can be modulated into the target environment and then specified to say how the data should be looking like in your warehouse and what the data looks like in your source system. The beauty of it is, in every single transformations, you'll be able to see that there are some incoming fields, and whenever you add or modify a certain data, you can create a new field, making sure your source data stays intact, and you can have additional columns for building your analytics. That way your source, the source of truth, will always be the source of truth. And the next one, once you push the data into a target, which is going to be Synapse environment, Informatica IDMC allows you to do the push down optimization of your data itself by making sure that when you click on preview push down, when we do the push down optimization, the query gets generated, and this query is the one that gets executed on Synapse environment. So you have an understanding of what the data is, and you will be able to provide the necessary you'll be able to do the necessary workloads, making sure, believing in the data, that this data is going to generate a high trusted analytics for you. Once the data is integrated and the data has been pushed down, you would want to next is to bring all the data from multiple sources into a single view, providing an atmosphere of doing master data management. It provides a list of dashboards to provide a view of your customer, where the customer is, what kind of customer are they, how loyal are they, are they platinum customers, are they bronze customers, and how many users are there in customers. You can have a list of different tenets for making understand your customer's complete profile. So let's look at for a customer and a person called Christopher Bradshaw. So Christopher Bradshaw, we can find out the data. We'll find the data, the MDM has brought in the recency, frequency, and monitoring data through multiple AI models. Customer is going to be a churn customer. This brings in multiple source of records. So where you have multiple sources feeding in the data, some coming from mobile, some coming from the Synapse application, that is the common entity model stored. And it also has a point of sale system and also from the web systems. So these multiple systems data provided will help you to reconcile the data into one single environment, and will also be able to see the different hierarchies. So in the hierarchies, you can find which organization this Christopher Bradshaw belongs to. And you'll also be able to see the network of different organizations where Christopher Bradshaw has been associated with. These details, whatever we saw on Christopher Bradshaw, we'll also be able to see in MDM analytics in the Power BI dashboards. The Power BI dashboard provides you a complete 360 vision of your organization itself. It provides you what products we have, what are different product categories, especially based upon different credit cards, and it provides a list of data from which state your customers are and who's your most ranking customers. And you'll be able to drill down from your analytics, where you'll be able to drill down to understand who's your valuable customers, who are your shoppers, who are your frequent customers, what's the churn, and then it provides a complete visibility of what are your valuable customers looking like. And there are 193 customers, 193 transactions on what are the different transactions that are happening for your customers. Based upon the data what we see here, now your analyst would like to review the data and then do some advanced analytics, but they need source of data. They need their elements of data available from their marketplace. Cloud data governance provides the complete visibility of your organization data. It provides what are the different technical assets, what are the different tables, what are the different sources of data that are available in your organization, and the data stewards are able to provide regulatory compliance reports based upon what the quality looks like, who is acquiring the data, who is using it for analytical purposes, where's the data coming from. All these questions can be answered from data governance, and your customers, your analyst will be able to request for the data from the data marketplace. In the data marketplace, they'll be able to look for different kinds of data. Here, we are going to request for a sales order data, and that's coming from a different environment. And they'll be able to look at what data it is, providing an analytics trying to build analytics on top of it. They can help visualize if the data is published or unpublished data, is the data available for analytical purposes, and they can make a request for checkout. When is the checkout, it is a real-time online shopping experience where data is a product for them. And once in the data marketplace, they can request for whether the data usage context is analytics or operations or regulatory reporting or internal reporting. What are the purposes? So once they apply for acquiring this data, the data steward will get a ticket. Your data stewards will be able to approve or reject based upon the data requested. So this is the data we requested right now, and the data steward has a choice to make it sure that whether the data requested is approved or is it valid is the right purpose, or is it fit for use for this analytical report. For this year Microsoft Ignite, we are launching a new solution called as Data Loader. It's a 3-step data ingestion component that is zero DevOps, zero install, making sure that it's an easy to use, free wizard-based experience to connect your data sources, on-prem data sources or SaaS data sources, and able to pull the data into a landing zone, to pull the data directly into your Synapse.
The Data Loader also comes with multiple free connectors and provides a deeper Synapse integration that will be able to directly store your data into the Synapse. With this, you can see more about Data Loader in the video below in the same screen. Thank you.